But we're talking about an idea that I know is not going to happen today, tomorrow, or certainly in the next year or two, given the political toxic nature we have right now. But we're talking about an idea of national service, and I don't really think it's a political debate. This is really more of what do we want to see, and I think our guest Mark Rosen's right, there's an economic component to this about a cost attached to it. But for this moment, Dominic, let's not worry about the price tag. Is this a good idea?
I think so. It was refreshing while in Israel. I had a conversation with it was scary to watch some of the young soldiers with those semi-automatic weapons, male and female. But to have a conversation with them that are giving back, and they all were so pleasant. And you're right about, and they're proud of their country, and they all illustrated that they were giving back to Israel, you know. And so I think it's a great idea. I just don't know how you incorporate it and make it work.
But that's, you know, that leads to also a level of groupthink that I think America doesn't quite operate on. America's made up of individuals and individualism, and I don't think everybody would read off the same page. Nor does everybody want to. I think you have to give people a choice. You have to give people an option.
But you know what?
Incentivize it, make it appealing.
I'll disagree with you, and maybe this is not the party line or whatever, but we are a country of individuals,
yes.
But we chose to be here. And there is a collective that comes along. No, time out. I'm sorry, it's not love it or leave it, but you owe something to the country. It's not just, I'll do whatever. You're in this country, and when times are tough, you're supposed to pull up. You're supposed to pull up your boots here, and you're supposed to get in, and you're supposed to do your part. So I'd like to think I wouldn't have been one of those kids who would have ran off to Canada, and I'm not trying to start that whole debate over it, but you owe something to your country. And if you totally disagree with it, then step up and take whatever punishment that comes along with it. But if there's something to being an American other than I'll do it the way I want, whatever, and let somebody else do the fighting for me or let somebody else sacrifice for me. I don't have to because I don't want to. To me, I don't buy that. And I know some people are like, oh, you know what? There are freedoms, but there also is some price that comes along with it. And I think everybody ought to do a little bit to pull up on that.
Well, I agree. So I've said that I think I support some kind of service. To Andrew's point, though, not all of us came willingly.
Absolutely.
And so
you have a better argument than me, Basil. Let's put it that way.
So I think you have a lot. You have to get. Some of us historically did not come.
I know the point.
So to your point, and sort of try to bring some of this together, I think the first step is having to get over that hurdle of some people saying, "Well, look, I'm here." But, you know, I still have my issues with government. I still have my issues with this country.
We're going to wrap this. Sell the idea to the folks. Listen, we didn't wear a uniform. Give an idea to what people would get out of service, that every returning vet, not every, but the vast majority, they speak with pride about the time that they put on a uniform, even if they weren't gung-ho from the day they, stepped into boot camp. What is it that people would get that they don't maybe realize unless they went through it?
I'm going to say something very sacrilegious.
Oh, wow.
There's more to life than money. It's called service. It's called devotion to something bigger than yourself. It's impact and leaving a better generation for our kids and grandkids. And when you walk away and put your uniform away, I just did last month, you feel good about that and you miss that you can't keep doing that. I'm in the private sector, make good money, but I'll never have that feeling of being able to contribute to my country the way I did with the troops. And frankly, a lot of people are missing out on that. And if you can build that, if you work at IBM or GE or whatever, that comradeship, that leadership, that management, talk about productivity in America. So you got me going there.
All right. Well, I'm glad on that point.
Thanks for your service.
Yes. And thank you very much. And again, what I'm pitching isn't always a military uniform. You could do it in other ways too. I think it's a conversation we need to have in this country.